Alright guys, it's Chris Miasma coming at you again. I figure with all the hype and the announcement of the new Pale Moon trial deck and us finally getting new support for Pale Moon, I'd show off my Pale Moon decks this time. Today I'm going to start us off with my Silver Thorn and Pale Moon deck. As you can see, my starter is Silver Thorn Beast Tamer Emil, where I can move her from Rearguard into my soul to check the top 5 cards of my deck to add a grade 1, 2, and 3 to my soul. It's pretty great, especially for when you're using and trying to hit into cross rides early in the deck, but also useful for shoving, useful grade 1s and 2s into your soul as well. Alright, let's get our triggers started. I have 4 draws, 8 crits for Poison Juggler, because a trigger that moves into the soul is always useful, especially when you have a deck that just calls things out of the soul a lot. Next up, we have Silverthorn Barking Dragon, another critical trigger. And then we have our 4 heal. Those are Silverthorn Juggler, Nadia. It's a pretty standard lineup from the deck. I'm actually thinking of taking the Poison Jugglers out for Sky High Walkers, which you can move into your soul to unflip a point of damage, which I don't think is the worst thing at all for any deck that is Counterblast reliant. Alright, now on to our grade 1s. I have Silverthorn Hypnotist, Lydia. They're perfect shield. I'm hoping they come out with a new one that does some unflipping, but you just gotta love the art on this one. It's just adorable. Next up we have 3. The Silverthorn Beast Tamer Anna. Whenever she boosts another Silverthorn, you can counterblast 1 if it hits, to call out another card from your soul, and at the end of turn, it has to move back into the soul. Next up, and this is my opinion, if you don't run 4 of these, you're not running the strategy right for the deck. 4 Silverthorn Assistant Zelma. Basically, a purple trapezist clone for Silverthorns, but it's Silverthorn exclusive, which is sad because you could do quite some tricky things if you combine the 2. Next up, I have 3 Silverthorn Assistant Irina. Whenever it hits Vanguard or Rearguard, I can check the top 2 cards of my deck, put 1 into my soul and 1 on the bottom of my deck. It's good for hopefully hitting you into cross ride early if you use the Luquier or stuff like I do. But if not, it's just good for stacking your soul with all kinds of fun stuff. Next up, we have our grade 2s. I like this as a 3 of. I'm debating putting it up to a 4 of. I have 3 Silverthorn, or an Upright Lion. Every time a Silverthorn card comes out of your soul, it gains 3,000 power. The most I've ever been able to get on it is 6 boosts. But I'm hoping with maybe some of the newer stuff, they might come out with a clone of it and I can get more than 6 boosts on it. Next up, I have 2 Silverthorn Marionette Liane. Namely it's good if I get it as a first turn ride, but looking to kind of tech it out eventually. Our next card is Silverthorn Rising Dragon. 12k attacker, pretty standard in these sub-clanny type decks. As well as it's pretty fun in Pale Moon, especially since you can get a 19k column going with it. Not to mention reset that 19k column with certain combos. And finally, we have 3. The Silverthorn Beast Tamer Maricia. Same thing as Anna, except for when it attacks and it hits, you can counterblast 1. And it will switch 1 unit in your soul to the field, which is great for the deck because it helps you get in some pretty big combos, which make the deck all that much more fun. Alright, we're now at our grade 3s, which I'm still thinking on, but this lineup's been doing well for me so far, so I don't see a reason not to keep it. We have 4 Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Luquier. I love these. I picked them up back when they first came out and they were kind of cheap. Because looking at the prices for it now, I'm just like, whoa, oh hell no. Next up, we also have for Silverthorn Dragon Empress Venus Luquier, whose skill I really more use. Whose Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Luquier is more there to be stride fodder and kind of just put into my soul. Whereas Venus Luquier is more the skill I'm trying to go for, where she's a Counterblast 2, Soul Charge 2, call up to grade 6, so you can call 6 grade 1s, unlimited grade 0s, until you reach the number 6. But they are all simultaneously called, I believe. If anyone has any other information on that, feel free to comment it below. So that means, you can't go, I'm going to call this card, resolve its skill, to call another card off the same effect. Because, then you just kind of hit a loop of the deck can't be stopped. Right, and moving on to our Stride deck. Well, for Pale Moon, it's pretty small because they only have 2 Stride units. So it's pretty much the 2 they got, or that plus some Cray Elementals. For me, I just go straight Pale Moon. I'm like, I can use 2 for this and whatever. I run 4 Miracle of Luna Square Clifford. I think he's pretty okay. If he hits a Vanguard, he lets me switch a unit on my field with a unit in my soul. So it's not terrible. It's good for resetting columns, calling out Zelma, and opening up and creating some pretty big chaos. Then my favorite part of the deck, and this is where my combos come in on, is when I stride into my Silverthorn Dragon Master, Mystique Luquier. If I have a heart card with Luquier in its name, I can take Soul Charge 2, move 2 any card from my field into my soul. Or to call out any 2 cards. I use it mostly to get my Zelmas out, which creates really big combo columns, making it all kinds of awesome. But that does it for my deck. If you got any comments, concerns, questions, please state them in the comments below. I hope you guys liked it, so please like the page, subscribe, and keep watching. We hope to see you again.